Hi guys, Nintendo 13. I'm here with a tag response video. Uh, TheRetroSocialWorkGameHunter had tagged me in a video talking about the the top 10 most expensive games in your collection. And this one was a little difficult for me because, as I come to find out, a lot of the games that when I bought them, they were up there in price. They seem to have dropped lately, which is totally fine for me. I don't care. That's not why I collect games. But I did realize that most every game that I own is between $20 and $50. It's pretty sad, but I guess, I play games to play them and not necessarily hold on to the expensive stuff. There was one of the big dogs on my list that I let go recently, and I'm still bumming about that a little bit, and that was Rockin' Cats. That was one that I definitely have to get back again, but as you may already know, or you will see, that went as a partial trade towards the number one on my list. So it was all worth it in the end. Okay, I'm going to start with the low ones. Um, I believe there's 10 here. There might be 11. I don't know. Something like that. I can't count. So I'm going to start off with my lowest one on here. And that would be Mario Party 3. N64. Absolutely fantastic game. This game for me has ruined way more controllers than I can count. The second one actually won't. Mario Party, I think right now is going for like 50 or so. That sometimes bumping up a little higher. It's the most expensive of the Mario parties, but that's why I threw that one in there. But it juggles around the $50 mark. I just had a hard time figuring out which game I was going to put in there to start it off. This game right here is actually going to leave my collection tonight or tomorrow. Tomorrow. It's gone as we speak, but I'll be doing my next pickup video and you'll see what I get for it. But that would be Turtles 4, Turtles in Time for the Super Nintendo. I didn't really have much fun with this game. I'm not into beat 'em ups per se. I mean, I like some things like Double Dragon. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm drawing a blank right now. Like I said, I'm not really into beat 'em ups. This one just really didn't do it for me, and I got a really good deal coming. Okay, this is actually definitely in my top 10 favorite games. This one, when I got it, it was shooting around 75, and it seems to have dropped down to the $60 area. And that is Super Mario RPG, Legend of the Seven Stars. Absolutely fantastic game. This one set the tone for the Paper Mario series, and this is an absolutely fantastic game. I don't know what else to say about it. It's just really good. I would compare it to Paper Mario, but it is actually totally different, and the couple of Paper Marios are better. Alright, here's one that threw me by surprise when I came across a disc-only copy of it, and thankfully in a trade with MT Shark 7, I was able to get the case and the manual, and that would be Time Splitters, Future Perfect for GameCube. Now it's only sitting around $60 or so, but it is not a game I'll play, and I really didn't want to sit here and shell out the big bucks for the case and manual just to have it complete. So he really hooked me up on that one. My next one, surprisingly, is a GameCube title also. This is the most expensive GameCube title in my collection. That wasn't always the case. A few months ago, Twilight Princess actually was really expensive. It was pushing 70 bucks. Now that's down to around $40, which I just don't understand. But anyway, this is Chibi Robo. It's still, these are complete, not like it really matters, but it's still pushing around the $60, $65 area. This one was okay. I didn't see what all the hype was for. I put probably 8, maybe 10 hours into it. I just guess I couldn't get into it after that. Okay, now I got a couple of them that are a little more difficult to discern the price on, but yeah, they definitely have their values to them. This one, it's almost complete in box, which is what makes it so super expensive, and that is Monster in My Pocket for the NES. Now, if it had the figurine that came with it, we'd be talking about a $150, $170 game. I see lately the price of the game has gone from around $60 to $70 down to around $40. I don't understand that, but with the box and the manual and the game, it's looking at around 90, something like that. Like I said, a lot of these games have dropped down in price, and that's actually a really good thing. I'm noticing a trend with that lately is that the games really seem to have peaked for us. And over the last 6 months, I've been watching games drop down in price. And sadly, it always happens right after I buy the game. Now, this is a game that, thankfully, it has retained its value. This is my only sealed game in this group, and that would be Bayonetta 2 with the Bayonetta bonus disc. Now, this one I kept sealed. I bought it right after they talked about it, the print run ending. I knew that I wanted to collect the Wii U system, and I happened to be at a grocery store, Meijer's, and they had one copy of this left on the shelf for $60, and I bought it, and I refused to open it. If I want to play it, I'll just go run into the video store. I don't care. But yeah, I still haven't even checked out this game. I don't even know how good it is. But that one right there is sitting at right about the $90 mark still, and I don't have it to sell it. Why am I going to destroy the value on that game just to open it if I'm not going to play it? So I'll just leave it like that, and like I said, if I want to play it, I'll just go rent it from the video store. Oh, this one right here, this game by itself was nothing real special. I'm talking about I had the game in the manual for like 35, 40 bucks. But since I just completed it in the box and it works for GameCube to be, if it's complete, it's worth more, why can't this also? Dragon Warrior 2. From what I can tell, this is pushing right around $90 to $100. And as I said, I already had the game in the manual. Keeping the box for free was just a bonus for me. And actually, I just traded off my extra copy of Dragon Warrior 2 at a good discount to my buddy Rob the Toy Guy, but you'll hear more about that in the pickup video coming, I don't know, maybe tomorrow, because I got a really, really big pickup tomorrow. So, maybe tomorrow. We'll see. Okay, this is my highest priced NES game. This one was actually sitting there tied with Rockin' Cats, but I lost Rockin' Cats, and I replaced it with this one. And it's actually kind of funny because I ended up with this on a trade that cost me $0, so that was nice to add a game on my want list to my collection of this caliber. And that would be Felix the Cat for NES. And I still have the price sticker on there that Brian at Video Game Cave had on there. Can you see that? Yeah, he had 80 bucks on it, which was a fantastic deal because this cartridge is like mint condition. But I actually played it, and it was a lot of fun, surprisingly. And that's my problem. Before I continue on with the rest of these, that's what my main problem with expensive price games is. As Retro Social Work Game Hunter pointed out, a lot of the games in his collection, they came from N64, because that's what his biggest collection is. But those high-priced games, they're really not any fun. They're just high priced because they're obscure or rare. It's not because it's a good game, and that's a real shame. But I do think that's what a lot of the reason for me not having very many expensive games in my collection, because once I come across them and I realize that this is not something I want, I'll use that game as trade fodder just to get stuff that I'm looking for, stuff that I want to play, and I really don't necessarily care that I'm getting, you know, 6 or 7 $10 games for an $80 or $100 game. It really doesn't bother me because these ones are going to get played. Which brings me to this one. Now, I know that I talked on my last video about this game being available, and I did discuss this with one of my YouTubers on here, and it's gone now. And that's okay. I'm fine with it, and you'll see the deal that I made. But that would be my recent acquisition, Knights of the Round. And, you know, it had a really good label. Everything's great on it. It's sitting between $100 and $110 right now. And with me pretty much getting it, you know, dirt cheap, I had no reason to hold on to it. Once again, this is a beat 'em up. I have no interest in beat 'em ups, really. And I played it for a while and I just couldn't get into it at all. So I knew it wasn't anything that I was going to be holding on to. I got a good deal for it. Okay, the next one, I got 2 left, just 2. The next one is, something okay special by just the game itself, but it's not about just the game, it's the fact that I got the bundle for it, and that would be Skyward Sword. Now, the game is still pushing around 40 or so, $30 to $40 depending on where you get it, but to have it in the big box with the remote, the awesome gold remote with the Triforce, that is just so killer. Anyway, I got a great deal on this, but it's not one that's going to leave my collection. But I consider this to definitely be just one solid game because of the fact that it is a bundle. But these things are still pushing like, I don't know, 110 to 130 depending on condition and if you catch the right sale. And then that leads me to one final game. Everybody that watches my channel knows what the game is. And this game is, I actually had to take it out of my Super Nintendo to pull it out of here. And it hasn't been out of my Super Nintendo very much over the last month. I've been putting in so many hours on here. That would be Earthbound. Yes, this is the game that I had traded my Rockin' Cats for, amongst other things. It was not a straight up trade, I wish, but this does have some damage to it, so it's nowhere near the condition to, you know, be up there in the $200 range. I don't care. To me, I really wish this was a $10 game. That way everybody and their brother would be able to play it. It is a fantastic game. I can't express that enough. But this would be my most prized game in my collection, and it just happens to be the most expensive game in my collection. I wish that wasn't the case, because honestly, number 2 of my most prized games is a very cheap, pointless title. More of them should be like that. That's the way my thinking is on it. And that's where most of my collection stands. I find that, the value really isn't the important part unless I'm out hunting to further my own collection. And that, I know, reseller stuff, whatever. That's really not what it's about, but if you can find great deals and you can turn a game that you don't care about into something that you've been really dying to play, or something that you really want to experience, I'm all for it. and it doesn't hurt to share some of the wealth along the way. And that's the case with what I just did with these couple, and what I did with that Dragon Warrior 2. So, I mean, it's all about helping out collectors, right? So that would be it. As you know, as shocking as that is, even for myself, that would be my top 10 most expensive games. Um, yeah, I really thought that I had bigger, better, but it's okay because it's been forever that I've been collecting, and I stopped caring about values on games when they started going up. Whatever happened to the days of spending $10 and buying 40 video games? Well, if this trend of these prices dropping down, we might get something like that again. You know, it's not too bad anymore. Prices are dropping. Some things are getting a little more reasonable, and other things like the one of the #1 games on my want list just keeps going up and up and up, and that would be Dokapon Kingdom for the Wii. I don't really have any want in playing it or getting it on the PS2 because I'm not a big PS2 fan. I'm more in Nintendo, and it happens to be that that's the obscure one. But we're talking about just loose disc is pushing like well over $100, and it's almost $200 for a complete copy. It's just ridiculous. But it does actually sound like a fun game, and when I get that, that'll be up there in my top 2 or 3 games in my collection as far as price wise. But once again, it's because it's a game that I really want to play, not just something that I want to have sitting on my shelf. So, other than that, that's all I have. Thank you, Retro Social Work Game Hunter. I really appreciate you giving me a tag in this video. And for anybody, you know, tag me if you don't think that I've done a video that you've been tagged for. I enjoy doing those. I have 2 more videos that I have to do this weekend that I've been tagged in. Very happy to do that. So it's going to be a busy weekend for me uploading these videos, but it's not like I edit them, so what else do I have to do? So anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I know this isn't going to get to them, but a little shout out to Scarce. Gotta love the flannel. So I'm sure you guys have a clue of who he is. So anyway, I will talk to you guys probably tomorrow. So let me know what you think. Oh man, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not going to tag anybody in this video. If you're watching this and you would like to do this video, please, I encourage you to do it. Send me the link. Check out Retro Social Work Game Hunter. Head over to his channel. Check out his video for his top 10. And send him a link to your page so that he can go check out what you have in your collection. And yeah, I'm going to save my tags for the other 2 videos that I have coming up this weekend. I got some fun ones. So, alright you guys, I've taken up enough time, and I will see you soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.